Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glory Srila Prabhupada. I hope you all are well and having a nice, it's a nice weather actually today, nice and calm. We just wait for Maharaj to come and join us. And I'll also wait for a few more devotees to join. So I hope whoever is in London is coming for a walk against the hunger tomorrow at Soho Temple, ISKCON London. So we all will see you there. And as you might be aware that His Holiness Candramauli Maharaj is starting the walk tomorrow. Can you hear me, Guru Maharaj? Yes, Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Welcome everyone to His Holiness Candramauli Maharaj's daily call. And Maharaj has been talking about Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 9th chapter, that is passing away of Bhishmadev in the presence of Lord Shri Krishna. And Maharaj, as I assume, we're going to continue with verse 22.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just soon share my screen. Just give me a second. Yes. Can you see the screen?
Oh, yeah, let me see verse 21. Did we do that?
21, okay.
Did we do 21?
This is 21.
Yeah, okay, we did 21. Okay, number 22.
22, yeah? 22? Yeah.
Okay, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Tatapyekanta Bhakteshu Asyabupa Nukampitam Yanme Sum Svajata Shaksat Krishna Darshanam Agataha. Yet despite his being equally kind to everyone, he has graciously come before me while I'm ending my life, for I am his unflinching servitor. Purport. The Supreme Lord, the Absolute Personality of Godhead, although equal to everyone, is still more inclined to his unflinching devotee, who is completely surrendered and knows no one else as his protector and master. Having unflinching faith in the Supreme Lord as one's protector, friend, and master is a natural condition of eternal life. The living entity is also made by the will of the Almighty. He is most happy in placing himself in a condition of absolute surrender. The opposite tendency is the cause of fall down. The living entity has a tendency of falling down by dint of misidentifying himself as fully independent to lord it over the material world. The root cause of all trouble is there in false egotism. One must draw towards the Lord in all his circumstances. The appearance of Lord Krishna at the deathbed of Bhishma Dev is due to his being an unflinching devotee of the Lord. Arjuna had some bodily relationship with Krishna because the Lord happened to be his material cousin. The Bhishma had no such bodily relation, therefore the cause of attraction was due to the intimate relation of the soul. Yet because the relationship of the body is very pleasing and natural, the Lord is more pleased when he is addressed as the son of Maharaj Nanda, the son of Yasoda, the lover of Radharani. This affinity by bodily relationship with the Lord is another feature of reciprocating loving service with the Lord. Bhishma Deva is conscious of this sweetness of transcendental humor. Therefore, he likes to address the Lord as Vijay Sake, Partha Sake, etc., exactly like Nanda Nandana and Yasoda Nandana. The best way to establish our relationship in transcendental sweetness is to approach him through his recognized devotees. One should not try to establish the relationship directly. There must be a medium which is transparent and competent to lead us to the right path. Om Gyantimidam Dasya Gyana Jana Savakaya Daksun Militamyena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Srimakti Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Naminina Deve Gauravanga Pacharini Nivasesam Sunyavari Pastyatya Vesitavi Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasana Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Samaham Sarvabhuteshu Namedvaisas Trinapriya. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, I'm equal to everyone, I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. Anyone who renders service to me is a friend, is in me, and I am a friend to him. And so Krishna gives the clear understanding. The Father is inclined, equally inclined to all his children, because each one of them is his child. Therefore, his love for each of the child is the same. But according to how the children respond then the parent will also respond sometimes, not always, but similar to that. In other words, if one parent wants, one child doesn't want to do anything, have anything to do with the father's love is still there, but he can't really benefit that child, nor is the relationship going to really develop. For the relationship may be also turn into another relationship, but still the love is there, the connection. So in the same way, Krishna has equal love for each and every person. He doesn't distinguish based on the body, because the body is simply a feature of the external form of the soul's existence in the material world. It has nothing to do with the soul's actual identity. It's simply ephemeral. It means we accept the material body because we want to enjoy in this material world. And so in order to do that, it requires a material body because this is a material place. So, but ultimately the soul has nothing to do with that. And so Krishna, he has nothing to do with the material world, but he interacts with us through the material energy based on our relationship with him. And he purifies us in that relationship. But he's always working for the benefit of all living entities because that's his concern, that each living entity become happy by coming back to him in loving devotional service. So he's equal, but he reciprocates accordingly. And Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Yayatam mam prapadyante tamstadaiva bhajamyaham mamavart manuvartante manusha partha sarvasyaha. Everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Partha, Krita, Arjuna, because ultimately everything is connected directly with him, either through his material spiritual energy. So everyone is always connected to the Lord. But there's those who connect directly and those who connect indirectly. For example, the state controls or has a jurisdiction over the citizens, and this is an ideal example, where if the state will provide the necessities that people need in order to live, and people pay their taxes and obey the rules of the state, and everything goes on properly. But there's then those who are criminal, who break the laws of the state, and therefore are subjected to punishment by the state and wind up in the prison house. So the prison house is also created by the state for such persons who are deviants, but they're still connected with the state in a less direct way, in the form of punishment. So in the same way, there are varieties of living entities, and people have different relationships with the Supreme Lord based on their own desire. But Krishna is still equal to everyone, therefore he knows how to relate to everyone. And he relates to them differently according to what is best for them. For the demons, he kills them. For the innocent people, he helps them get association with saintly persons. For the devotees, he elevates them in various ways. And for the pure devotees, he's with them all the time, constantly. So, so Krishna is not partial, but he reciprocates accordingly. And sometimes, due to his own independent nature and his love for the living entities, he will go out of his way to somehow give some mercy that is not even warranted, because he wants to somehow or other give that person a chance to come forward in devotional service. So we see that also. That's his prerogative, because he's not bound by any rules and regulations. Although he makes the rules and regulations, he can also supersede them for a higher purpose, which he does occasionally, according to the individual and the circumstance. But generally, he reciprocates according to how we. So devotees sometimes wonder why things are happening the way they're happening, because that's how we are approaching the Lord, or that's how we approach life. No one can blame another for one's misfortune, because everything comes by way of one's consciousness and their activities based on their particular type of desire. So change your desire and you'll change your activities. And when you change your activities, you change the results of your activity. If you keep the same desire and you want to change your activity in order for your activity to bring a different result, it won't happen, because the desire is still the same. So we have to change our desire. Our desire has to be purified by connecting our desire with the will of the Lord. That means engage in devotional service. So here, Bhishma Dev is a little bit different. His relationship with Krishna is simply based on his love for Krishna, where we see that same love is manifested towards Krishna by some of his more intimate connections. We can't call it bodily, but it's from the material point of view, it looks like there's his mother, his father, his friends, Radharani, all, they have a very intimate relationship with Krishna, because they're all from the same village. They are also intimately connected in different ways. So that connection allows them a greater sense of reciprocation with Krishna. And of course, to receive that position means that one has to be in love with Krishna. So Bhishma Dev has no such relationship, but still he has that loving relationship with Krishna. Therefore, he's talking, he says, he has graciously come before me while I'm ending my, I can't read that word because it's being blocked. Yeah. And drop the thing down a little bit and see it. Either, and by ending my life, where I am his unflinching servitor. Yeah. So Bhishma Dev is grateful that he's receiving the mercy of the Lord. And he qualifies it. He's come because I'm his unflinching servitor. Yet still, we are on opposite sides in the battlefield. So yeah, despite his being equally kind to everyone, he's come graciously before me. In other words, Bhishma Dev is seeing how Krishna is giving him some special mercy, extraordinary special mercy. So if we want to develop a relationship with Krishna, or it's already there, the relationship is already there. We can never be separated from Krishna, but we can separate ourselves by the consciousness of forgetfulness. Either we forget about Krishna, or we don't want to follow the instructions of Krishna. Therefore, Prabhupada says the best way to approach Krishna is to approach through his devotee. And then that approach will guarantee one a connection with Krishna, because the spiritual master holds that mercy within his heart. He takes Krishna's mercy. Krishna gives the mercy to him, and then he distributes. So if we go directly to Krishna, just like you want to associate with a very important person, you have to first make some appointment through his secretaries, through his ministers. And then you may get that appointment. But if you try to just go into his office whenever you want without scheduling anything, you'll be stopped automatically. You won't be able to approach. And so in the same way, you need to approach Krishna through his representative, and that means the bona fide spiritual master. Okay, so we'll stop there and see if there's any questions or comments.
Thank you, Maharaj. This was really nice talk on how Krishna is loving, caring, and to his devotees. And especially, I like the point that we should always try to reach, reach Krishna through his devotees rather than directly. So there should be always, and mainly through spiritual masters. Thank you. Devotees, if you have any comments, realizations, questions, please unmute yourself and ask questions. Or also, please keep your cameras on. It will be nice to take your darshans too. And if you can't speak, then please type in the chat and I will read it for you. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
I'd like to add that approaching Krishna through his representative is approaching Krishna directly. The example is that the eyes are defective, but you place some glasses upon it according to the need of the eyes, and one can see the external environment clearly. So the spiritual master is compared to the eyeglasses. He gives a vision or the connection with Krishna through his own pure devotion. And that therefore it is direct and it's not indirect.
Thank you. Yes, Shridevi Mataji, please go ahead.
Thank you, dear Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Bhishma Dev Guru Maharaj. I am not asking this question out of impertinence or any such impudence. But why is Bhishma Dev calling himself the Lord's unflinching servitor, when generally speaking, great devotees, are very self-deprecating? They say, I have not done anything for you, my Lord, and things like that. But here he is saying, I'm your unflinching servitor.
Yeah,
so
that's nice. He's just saying that's what he is. He's serving the Lord without deviation.
but isn't it like self-praise?
Isn't it what?
Isn't it like self-praise?
No.
Okay. Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
He's just I'm your unflinching servitor. If you are serving the Lord without deviation, it comes to fact. He didn't say that I'm your best servitor. He didn't say that. He wouldn't say that, or I am your qualified servitor. Unflinching means without deviation. That adjective is not, it doesn't indicate any kind of pride at all.
Yes, Namrata Mataji. Thank you, Shridevi Mataji. Yes, Namrata Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Guru Maharaj, just one more question raised from what Sridevi Mataji was saying. So, what if a person or a devotee, in the name of humility, they are, tending to avoid the service? How do we recognize that thing?
That's not humility. Humility means I want to serve. Not humility, it's just Well, a person might think, well, I'm so unqualified to serve. What can I do? That's a type of humility. But then they should try to serve anyway. You shouldn't give up the service in the name, well, I'm so unqualified. Sometimes we see where there's two people together and there's one service that needs to be done. So one person will say, oh, well, that person's more qualified for me to do the service. That person will do the service much more nicer and better. That's humility. But they always refer to another person. But humility doesn't mean to give up your service. Did Prabhupada give up his service because he was humble? He kept going because he was humble. The question is, it's a matter of consciousness. Consciousness is I'm dependent on the Lord for the mercy that I need to do this service. I'm dependent on the Lord to make the outcome pleasing. That's humility. But this idea of not doing any service or giving up service in the name of humility is not humility.
And Guru Maharaj, filtering the service according to our own capabilities, is it a good idea or a sense gratification somewhere?
In the beginning, the spiritual master will engage you according to your qualifications or your ability. But then that's just to get you fixed in Krishna consciousness. Then as one makes advancement, one will see that service is my life, and therefore whatever service I can do, that's fine. You know, we try to engage according to our nature and the service that we are good at. But if something else is needed, then you can't say, well, I'm not good at that, or it's not my nature, or I don't have the tendency for that. Then that's false pride. Yeah. So
Thank you, Maharaj.
you might say on the beginning level, we are more or less engaged according to what we like to do or what we're good at doing. But as we make advancement, we're willing to do whatever is needed. So we understand the absolute nature of service. The service is absolute. Krishna is accepting not so much the activity, but the consciousness that engages the activity.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. I think that clarifies a lot. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Namrata Mataji. Prem Kishori Mataji, yes, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Prabhupada. All goes to you. Sorry, I'm not able to turn my camera on. I'm leaving the house to drop kids to school. But thank you for the wonderful class. It is more of a clarification than a question, and it's been in my head for a long time. So you gave an instruction that serving Krishna, serving the spiritual master is serving Krishna directly. And that service, as I entail, is that like you pariprashnena sevaya, right? You render service and also ask questions from a self-realized soul. So in that service, my experience with you is that sometimes you ask a question. What is this? For example, if this is concerning some like clarification of a medical thing or what, or COVID or whatever, you ask question. And in that thing, my head goes for a spin because I don't know if I'm supposed to answer it with what consciousness. Am I instructing you from what my whatever material education is? Because I know the pastime of who's that Ishvara Puri's god brother who instructed Madhavendra Puri when Madhavendra Puri was leaving his body.
Ramachandra Puri.
Ramachandra Puri, and then he gave instruction to his spiritual master, and then he fell down. Can you please clarify, like in that service exchange, or how do?
Well, he was criticizing his spiritual master. It wasn't. He was instructing in the form of criticizing. But just like Srila Prabhupada, when he was preaching, he needed a lot of information on how to do things in a particular area. So he would inquire from his devotees. And sometimes he would even make a decision on what he wanted to do and ask his devotees if you think this is a good decision. So that's natural. So one should be humble and then just respond according to what is needed. And even sometimes the spiritual master will ask the disciple something spiritual or philosophical just to see what their understanding is of that particular topic. So that's just ordinary parlance. It's not going against spiritual principles or spiritual relationships. Yeah. So, I'm not a doctor, so you're a doctor. If I need some medical advice, I can come to you. You need some spiritual advice, you come to me. If I need some artwork, I go to Namrata. If I need something to get done, I go to Sri Devi. If I need something to get done fast, I go to Srimati.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. But I think I'll still keep clarifying this again and again if you ask an advice again in future. So please tolerate my, I don't know, naiveness. But this is really like
Right.
okay, you're giving an advice to your spiritual master, do like this and not do like this. Because in Gita Nagri also you were asking an advice, and I and Radha Bhakti were standing, and I couldn't utter a word, but she's so advanced, she could say. So
Well, if you really want, I won't ask any advice anymore.
No, whatever you ask, it has some inner meaning as well, because we are reading Manasiksha nowadays, and then the humility, I don't know, I'm just sharing what we are reading is like, it can be externally, like, it can be a deceit, like I can deceive others that I'm humble, but actually I'm not humble.
Just one example, one devotee came to Prabhupada and asked him a question about something material, some kind of way to do something. And Prabhupada said, no, don't ask me. Why don't you go to a person who knows that art or has that trade? So yeah, this is a practical thing.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
If I want something good to eat, then I ask you.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. I think because it's Gita Nagari's fresh produce, so Gita Nagari devotees, and it becomes very tasty. Thank you.
If I want something impossible to get done, then nobody can do it. I go to Somadatri. She'll get it done somehow.
Jai, Jai, Jai. Now we know, Guru Maharaj, that who to go for what. Thank you. This is amazing. It's so nice. Nectarian to hear all the glories of the devotees. Thank you.
There's more.
Any more questions? Yes, Shridevi Mataji, please go ahead.
Guru Maharaj, I'm so moved by Prem Kishori's sweetness, her childlike innocence, her sincerity, that I'm just thinking, if only, we could all get these wonderful qualities, how much better disciples we would be to you, Guru Maharaj. That's just my humble prayer, that maybe I will, by your mercy, get some of these lovely qualities that I see in this group family.
I have a service for you. You know which one it is too. That one we're still waiting for the last 2 years.
Yes, Guru Maharaj, when I go to Bombay, that's the first thing I'm going to do. Open up in all the suitcases, all the boxes, and search for the diary. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten it for one moment. It's on my mind all the time.
It's on my mind too. Try to find it, because I know I gave it to you. And you also know it. I gave it to you.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. Yes, Guru Maharaj. Yes, I have to find it. I'm praying to Hanuman.
Yeah. Hanuman will help you.
Thank you, Shridevi Mataji. Any other questions, devotees?
Sridevi Mataji, thank you for your glorification. But as you were talking, my son was saying that maybe there's a big misconception. There's a big misconception about what you're talking about me. So maybe ask my children how humble I am.
No,
Jai Krishna.
that's the wrong people to ask.
Yes, so we have, I think, Vrishabh Prabhu has a question. Vrishabh Prabhu, please go ahead. You're on mute, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, do you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Prabhu, yes.
Hare Krishna, dear Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisance. Of course, Srila Prabhupada. I have one question. It is maybe not related to this topic. Can I ask it?
Yes.
So I'm just reading, I was just finishing the chapter of the sixth canto where Daksha is cursing Narada Muni. It's really nourishing. It's really fun to read what Srila Prabhupada is referencing to himself, how he's cursed by the parents. So I'm just thinking, because doing Sankirtan, I do find myself also being verbally attacked by other people who had a different view on what we are doing, and they are also kind of not understanding what we are doing, and they are verbally attacking. Even when we are coming with the books, they are stopping us, trying to stop us, trying to convince people to hate us or something. So I'm just reading how Narada Muni, he came to Daksha and he was listening to him compassionately, not reacting, so to benefit him. So I'm just curious, if I find myself in such situations, what is the best way that will benefit that person? Should I just leave? Should I defend the philosophy? Should I just compassionately listen? Maybe if you can give us some directions.
Well, I think you have to evaluate the circumstances and act accordingly and pray to Krishna, see what is the best response. Sometimes no response is the best. Sometimes saying something might make a difference. It depends on the situation, depends on the person. But there's one good thing, the fact that you're getting attacked is good because it means that means we're making advancement. Prabhupada says, when you get a resistance in your Krishna consciousness, it's an indication you're making advancement.
Okay, wow, that sounds amazing.
That means you're making an effect, and the demons and the atheists are becoming disturbed, and that's good.
Okay, I will feel like a victory for that, not like
Yeah. If you're not getting any resistance, that means you're not doing much.
anymore. Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you very much.
This is the material world.
Thank you, Prabhu, Shri Prabhu. Any other questions? By the way, it was a really nice answer, Maharaj, to Vrishabh Prabhu's question, and this is something new, and came to know that getting resistance from the public, because yes, it does happen when you go for book distribution and Harinam, people really don't like you. Yes, Namrata Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Just a follow-up from Rishabh Das Prabhuji. That the person he is approaching are the strangers. So should we feel that same advancement if it is going on in the family?
Not necessarily. Family members will always, even if you're not doing anything.
Sorry, Guru Maharaj, can't hear you.
Not so much. Not so much. Resistance from the outside is an indication of making advancement. Resistance from the inside could come for different reasons. Not necessarily.
Guru Maharaj, when we make them, we listen compassionately to them, or we try to tell them anything, or let them say anything. So their mentality or their atheism is moving somewhere. So that is bringing them to certain thought. So is it recommended or not recommended?
To respond, you mean?
I didn't get you, Maharaj.
Is it recommended or not recommended to respond to them? Okay.
Yeah, respond. Yeah.
Family members, yeah. We can respond to family members. In fact, they want to respond. Just tell them they're wasting their life. They don't know the goal of life, and therefore they're just going to suffer. Right? That's the last thing you say to them. You say, well, you don't know anything. And you're criticizing.
Sorry to interrupt you, Maharaj. Your voice is fainting. I can't hear.
You say they don't really know anything, and so they're criticizing. You'd say, well, why don't you try Krishna consciousness before you make your judgment? How do you know what it's like? You invite them to practice. Invite them to take part in the practice. Try chanting. Try offering your food to Krishna. Recommend them that they also do the same thing you do. And then say, Yeah, try it. You'll like it. It's nice. And you say, I know what I'm doing. I'm getting some happiness. I'm getting some understanding. I'm getting some knowledge from this. This is nice. And use yourself as an example. Family members, you can respond. Yeah. If then they become argumentative, then you might just back off. At least try.
Okay, thank you, Guru Maharaj. Usually I try through prasadam.
That's good. You know, when there's a festival, invite them to come to the temple. If they meet somebody they like there, then that's a big, that will help them a lot. You can say there's so many nice people come, you can meet some nice people, come to the temple.
Usually, Guru Maharaj, what works for me is one thing is prasadam, and another thing is you living life, you living in the area of sadhana, what is given by Srila Prabhupada. So that thing itself, melts people up to certain extent.
Yeah, example is higher than precept. Teach by example. Many devotees, and I say that with surety, many devotees had resistance from their parents at the beginning. They continued, and then gradually the parents changed because they saw, oh, my kid is a nice person. He's become more respectable, become more loving, more devotional. They see the good qualities that the devotees develop. And then that changes them. That happens a lot. I was just reading about one sannyasi who's writing about his family life in one book. I was reading it last night. How his father couldn't understand why he didn't stay a Christian, because they were raised Christianity. But then, he was determined to continue. And after a while, the father saw something really good in it. He liked it. And he talked about it to others about how his son was a devotee. And that's common. That happens a lot. When you have unmarried boys and girls, and it's an Indian family, which then the family members get upset because they think, well, they're not going to get married, they're not going to get a good job, they're just wasting their time doing this. They're so materially oriented that they criticize from that perspective. But in your case, it's different. I think in your case, they should be really amazed to see the transformation, yeah?
Looks like.
Yeah. Knowing the history, your transformation is quite amazing. Something to write a book about.
My son will write a book.
Your son is great. He's intelligent. He asks questions. And whatever answer you give him, he likes it. Good.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. he enjoys a lot hearing about the Bhagavatam stories and all. I have enrolled him to Gaurang Darshan Das's lectures. So he has been, getting a lot of elevation from there. He's improving a lot from there.
Yeah. Anybody with any sense in their mind can understand this Krishna consciousness is very nice. Got good philosophy, has good food, has things, it has singing, and has dancing, and it's about people helping other people. Anybody with only the envious demons, or those who are motivated by material desires, only those can't see what is happening right in front of them.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. He is very excited to come to the retreat as well, to meet you.
Yeah, I remember his questions when I met him in Mumbai at the temple.
Yeah. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you, Namrata Mataji. Any other last question?
Okay. Move it along because somebody's going to be knocking on my door, pulling me out the door in a few minutes. I have to go. Give your blessings to Mother Kuspo. She's taking initiation tonight.
Yes. Shri Devi Mataji, do you have any comment, question?
No, sorry, that just, I can ask another time, no problem.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. My blessings to everyone. We'll see you, let's see, tomorrow, Saturday, not available, Sunday, not available, Monday, not available. Tuesday, I'm in India, and I think I also have a program because time changes for me. I might not be available Tuesday either. So next 4 days, you guys can, see what you've learned all these years and put it into practice in some class. Purpose of these classes is to inspire the devotees to learn and practice the philosophy so they can also speak. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Thank
Maharaj,
you
for
very
the time
much.
and association. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada.
Jai.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you very much.